20 years ago, when we planted Living Faith Community Church, we came up with a vision statement. The vision of Living Faith Community Church is to saturate the city with the gospel, to transform and bless the city and the world. And we wanted to concentrate on those three verbs: saturate, transform, and to bless.
When we were first planning for the church, we were going back and forth between Pastor Ro's living room and my living room and just talking through everything. But when we were talking through these things, it was really with a dream and a passion.
Once you have that calling, once you get that calling, it's a profound experience. You're starting something new. You're really leaning into your faith in the midst of scarcity, but at the same time, at that intersection of scarcity, you see God's provision.
When we started, we knew a couple things that we needed. Obviously, discernment. We needed some type of praise and prayer, but how it would look like and whether we would have the support, I think that was a concern, because when we started, it was less than 30, but when we gathered and it was 30 and we committed to it, it was exciting. And of course, we first thought of where we would meet, and we ended up in Flushing High School.
We are placed in one region of New York City, or one borough, Queens. We're located in Queens, North Flushing. Queens is the most diverse county in America, if not in the world. We have about 45% residents of Queens who are foreign-born. We have all kinds of houses of worship. We have all kinds of languages and ethnicities and cultures that's represented in Queens. On our 10th anniversary, we actually crystallized that vision by coming up with what we call 3M Vision. And those three M's stand for movement dynamics, missional community, and ministry balance. And movement dynamics is about taking our church out of our institutionalized state and being on a constant movement. And one of the main ways of achieving that is through the church planting movement, that we wanted to be a church that plants other churches. We don't have the desire to be a large church. We want to be a medium-sized church where we can regenerate and give birth to other churches.
Yeah, I think it was, Pastor Ro's vision. I still remember one of the first conversations that I had with him on staff. He said, we don't want to build a big church. And I was really stunned by that statement, because traditionally in church life, you think about big churches. But he said, once we hit around like 200, we really want to start thinking about planting and sending people out. And I kind of caught that vision and wanting to reach out, especially for young adults. So all those things kind of came together in the inception of King's Cross, and how my desire for my wife and I to start a movement or a church to do that in downtown Flushing.
Our missional community, we've always been thinking about mercy and justice to address issues like racism, homosexuality, poverty, inequality. And we developed this ministry called Community Development Corporation. And the board members there are working hard to work with the church to think about how we can partner together to reach others and address these needs, to be relevant, to serve the needs of our community. And we've been thinking, praying, and the result of the gospel has to be so clear that we address these issues in our community, in our city. So we are growing in that area. And we are also thinking of having ministry balance, of integrating our faith and work. Our former director, Ben Nika, has laid a good foundation of teaching a theology of work. And now Philip Chung has joined the board, and we are very grateful for his ministry and leading us into next phase in how we can integrate faith and work and be more advanced in developing disciples. Moving forward, I would love to see you all grow and continue to grow in your love for the gospel and grow in your understanding of God's love for you. I would love to see all of us grow old together. And I'd love to see your children to be involved in a church planting church and be a vital member of a church. Jesus is the greatest treasure we have. Let's persevere. Let's continue to walk this walk. So as our church name says it, let's live by faith, and let's continue to grow in our living faith, in our living Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, so that He would receive all the glory and honor.
Hi, this is Tim Keller. You knew that. And I want to congratulate the entire church, and especially Dr. Stephen Rowe, on your 20th anniversary. Your church was one of the very first, it might have even been the first, I'm not sure, but one of the very first churches that Redeemer helped start in the New York City area. That was our vision, to see churches all through the area, and you were the beginning of that vision. If I remember correctly, Stephen was part of one of the very first incubators where we were trying to give coaching and help to church planters. Stephen was both my right hand and my left hand man in Seoul, Korea in 2018. And as Stephen knows, maybe some of the rest of you know, he was a student of mine at Westminster Seminary, and he got the highest grades, except I think I taught him that you really need to include justice and mercy in your philosophy of ministry. Maybe he can tell you about that. God bless you. Thank you for all the work you've done. God bless you, Stephen, for all the work you have done. And may God give you another 20 great years in the future of ministry out there in New York City, one of the great cities of the world.
I'd like to congratulate Living Faith Community Church, and especially my dear friend Pastor Stephen Rowe, for 20 years of faithful ministry, but more importantly, being able to celebrate God's faithfulness to your church. Pastor Rowe has been a dear friend of mine for many years, and just so thankful for his life and his ministry and the ways that he has had this unwavering commitment to a gospel-centered approach to everything in life and ministry. So I'd like to celebrate with all of you. I wish I could be there with you to encourage all of you, but I know that God is very pleased with your church. Have a good day.
Congratulations, Stephen, on 20 years of ministry at Living Faith. You know, it seems to me that you're a better man than I. After all, we started our churches the same year, and you're still with yours. I have bailed on mine by retiring. I suspect what this means is that you are ahead of me in the race and are going to get to heaven before I do. We'll see about that. I remember with gratitude and pleasure the times early on in our tenure in New York City when we would get together with a number of other pastors to talk shop and to pray for each other about our ministries. Those were valuable times, and I was sorry when they ended. My encouragement to you, as it is to me, is to just keep at it. Stay on being faithful. God's blessings on you, Stephen, for the next 20 years. I will see you on the other side, and I might even see you before that time.
Hey, I want to congratulate my good, true friend, Stephen Rowe, on 20 years in ministry at Living Faith Community Church. Steve, I love you. I admire your ministry. Loved seeing you show your leadership on a global stage in Seoul, Korea a few months ago. Think so fondly of our times learning together, studying together, playing soccer together, leading worship together. Just a great times we had at Westminster Seminary. God bless you on this great occasion.
Pastor Rowe, congratulations on LFCC's 20th anniversary. That's amazing. I remember when you first planted that church. You've been such an older brother and a mentor to so many of us, and I just can't thank God enough for you and for your faithfulness and for all that God has done in you and through you. I celebrate. So congratulations, Pastor Rowe. You are an amazing man of God, and I'm honored to call you a friend. Congratulations, LFCC. Peace.
Hello, Stephen Rowe. Congratulations on 20 years of ministry at Living Faith Church. You're one of my favorite pastors in the world. I appreciate your perseverance, your humility, and that you never forget the gospel. Love you, brother. God bless.
Happy anniversary, Living Faith Community Church. You guys have much to celebrate today. The grace of God has been at work in incredible ways over these last 20 years. It was an incredible privilege for us, the Hickman family, to be a part of the ministry there, to be shaped by Living Faith, to be shaped by Pastor Rowe. And we are who we are as a family, and I am who I am as a pastor because of our relationship with Pastor Rowe and his influence on our lives. We have much to celebrate, even as we are not there with you. We wish we could be, but we hope you have a great day.